Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Minnesota.
It's time for game one of a doubleheader on the south side of Chicago. It's a key 5-game series that starts today for the Twins as they face their rivals inside the division from the Chicago White Sox. Minnesota will lean on Tim Melville up from AAA, the right-hander in Rochester. Decent numbers, a 2.42 ERA, and he'll go against the left-hander Carlos Rodon. A 4.00 ERA, he has given up at least one home run in each of his last 7 games. Twins baseball on Fox Sports North is presented by State Farm. Beautiful day for baseball. Welcome inside the stadium where there are not many people here for this makeup game on a Monday afternoon, and the ones that are here dominated by Twins jerseys and t-shirts. So the visitors may have that advantage as this game progresses into game 2, which likely brings more people for the home team. Let's take a look at our series setup. 5 games in the next 4 days, and the Twins hope they can continue an August rush. We've seen them win 11 of their last 14. Within that, a big weekend series sweep of Arizona where they scored 27 runs in those 3 games. Close personal foes, well, they should know them well. 8 of their next 11 for the Twins are against the White Sox. They're in a good spot right now. The White Sox are not. They're at the bottom of the division. Minnesota 7-4 against the Sox this year, and Chicago is in the middle of a second half swoon that's seen them go 9-25 since the All-Star break. They did score 22 runs over the weekend at Texas. That's the good news. Bad news is, though, 22 runs only produced 2 wins. And speaking of 2, we are playing 2 today. When we come back, Dick Kramer, Bert Blyleven with the wild card standings and how pivotal this 5-game series can be for the Twins and their playoff hopes.
Twins
This Twins White Sox series on Fox Sports North is presented by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. And it's a 5-game series getting started here tonight. And the Twins, who among the top wild card contenders have played the fewest games, that'll change tonight with the Twins taking on the White Sox twice, hoping to tighten their very loose grip on the second wild card spot. And it's a beautiful late afternoon here in Chicago. Dick and Bert with you for the opening game of the doubleheader. We'll have both games with you for you here on Fox Sports North. Here we are, just 40 games left in the regular season, and in both games today, the Twins will send a starter who has yet to start a game for the Twins.
Yeah, it'll be Dylan G in Game 2, but in Game 1, making his Twins debut, it'll be Tim Melville. Tim Melville, this guy, I'll tell you what, he has not given up on his talent and his ability to get to the big leagues. Last year, pitched a little bit for the Cincinnati Reds, made a couple starts, and that's basically the scouting report. Don't give up on his dream. He's back in the big leagues. Control has been an issue throughout his minor league days. They say in Rochester, it's picked up a little bit. His fastball, that's a pitch he's got to rely on. A mid-90s fastball, good curveball, and a changeup. So good luck to Tim here this afternoon.
Last time the Twins were in Chicago, Tim Melville was pitching for the Long Island Ducks. He'll have one of the hottest lineups in baseball supporting him here this afternoon in Game 1. Muggy here on the south side of Chicago. It was cloudy early this afternoon when the eclipse swept through. I guess what, 81% eclipse here in Chicago, and we captivated the nation's attention. And unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, here in Chicago we had cloud cover. Didn't really impact the viewing. I think a lot of people still were able to see it through the clouds. Paul Molitor has his team at 13-6 in the month of August. They've won 11 of their last 14. Here's the Menards batting order today for the Twins. Brian Dozier, Joe Mauer, Byron Buxton, Eduardo Escobar, Chris Jimenez, Eddie Rosario, Mitch Garver, Max Kepler, and Jorge Polanco.
And that'll be 24-year-old Carlos Rodon making just his 10th start. He started the season on a disabled list, activated on June 28th. He had left biceps bursitis that put him on the shelf. But he has pitched very well as of late over his last 4 starts. No record, but an ERA at 2.12.
White Sox out on the field. There'll be a lot of new names for most of you viewers out there. Lurie Garcia's in left, Adam Engel in center, Avisail Garcia in right, Yolmer Sanchez at third, Tim Anderson, Yohan Moncada up the middle, Jose Abreu at first, Omar Narvaez behind the plate. Dozier in the box. Here we go. And a first pitch strike.
Rodon, a guy that relies on his fastball to get ahead, then a nasty slider. He's a strikeout pitcher.
Up and in. Bryant's had some success against him. 7 hits, 19 at bats, and 3 home runs. We've seen Bryant exhibit much more patience over the last week or two than he has at any time in his career. He's drawn a lot of walks, and he's taken the first 3 pitches here and has a 2-1 count. And now a swing and a miss, 2-2.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing out of Brian Dozier is a guy that came into the season about a .245 career hitter, currently hitting at .260. It seems in situations like this with 2 strikes, he's looking maybe to cut down that swing a little bit, hit balls more to right field. Now, we mentioned that yesterday, and he jumped on a fastball and hit the home run. But a very aggressive hitter, but just trying not to strike out, put the ball in play.
Up high, 3-2. Now, the walks have been more numerous than the hits. And he's been a big part of this surging Twins lineup. Bauer on deck, Buxton to follow. And he missed down and in. Another walk going to Brian Dozier. And he's aboard for Bauer. The State Farm combination, a 9-run first inning yesterday, the most since back in 1980. The Twins were still at Metropolitan Stadium back then. And Max Kepler with a big 2-run double. Rosario with the grand slam, and the Twins put that one away early.
Walks have kind of been an issue for Rondon. That's his 25th walk in 54 innings pitched.
He's pitched well as of late. ERA at 2.12 in his last 4 starts. But the White Sox haven't given him much run support, so he hasn't picked up a win. Bauer takes a strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, that's 4 starts too. That's averaging over 7 innings a start. 29 2/3 innings over his last 4 starts. Only 7 earned runs, 6 walks, 28 strikeouts.
The White Sox in full rebuild mode, trading a lot of veterans. Todd Frazier, Melky Cabrera, since we last saw the White Sox. Half their bullpen, it seems, gone via trade. 1 strike to Joe Mauer. Down and away, 1-1. We've seen from this Twins lineup, particularly through the Diamondback series, and it wasn't just Brian Dozier, but much more patience. I mean, they wore Zach Greinke out Saturday night. Very patient, very disciplined at the plate. And 2-1 with Mauer showing bunt.
Clubs have run on Rondon, 7 stolen bases in 9 attempts. Bryant at first base with 11 stolen bases.
Rodon's got a big leg kick. There it is. You can understand why teams would run on him. He falls behind Mauer, 3-1. You know, threw a first pitch strike as he did to Dozier, and he's in danger of losing Mauer as well. Buxton on deck. Flip to first. Down the middle, now it's 3-2, and we'll see whether the Twins do anything with Dozier here.
3-2.
I think you send him right here. Get him going early.
Eleven pitches thrown, only 1 swing. 3-2 to Mauer. Dozier goes. The pitch fouled at the plate. So far in doubleheaders, and incredibly, this is the 6th one the Twins have played this year. They have 4 splits, and they lost a doubleheader at home to the Indians. So the one thing that's missing is a doubleheader sweep. And they would love to do that here tonight. While they're playing 2 here in Chicago, the Indians are hosting the Red Sox. See Joe's average up to 290. Wouldn't take much on this road trip for him to get that batting average above 300. Dozier goes, and the pitch fouled away again. We've seen the White Sox do this more extremely than even the Kansas City Royals. They play Mauer way over, and the center fielder and right fielder are both about equidistant from straightaway center. There was a ball hit earlier this year. Now, it was at Target Field, but it was against the White Sox. Mauer hit one right over the pitching rubber over second base, and the right fielder Garcia caught it in straightaway center field. Dozier goes, and the pitch swung on and missed. And Dozier steals, and the ball rolls into an empty center field. And Dozier goes to third. Mauer struck out, but Dozier advances to third with one away.
Yeah, that ball right there by Anderson, that's got to be caught or knocked down. The throw was near the bag. It wasn't that far off of the sliding Brian Dozier. Mauer swinging through a fastball. And a good throw right there, but Anderson maybe a little late getting there.
Giving the air to the catcher, but you're right. The shortstop's got to catch that.
Yes, he does.
Infield in now for Buxton.
Brian will get a stolen base, his 12th of the year.
He's trying to break out on top here. They've yet to put a ball in play. And Buxton takes another first pitch strike from Rodon. Byron's overall numbers really good. He's 3 for 9 against Rodon, and this year, despite the poor start he had, he's hitting .275 against lefties. Foul back, and it's 0-2.
I mentioned Rodon as a strikeout pitcher. A lot of times it's that slider that'll get strikeouts. You got Mauer on a fastball. You can see over the 10-game hitting streak, hitting over 400 and driving in some runs, and that's what he'd like to do right here. Pick up Brian Dozier.
Take it down and in. Yeah, 10-game hitting streak. That's when I really start paying attention and making some notice of it. See, in the second half, Buxton's done well, but it's the damage he's done with the 10 runs batted in and the 10 runs scored over the week and a half. Struck out. Pitch up and away. 2 down.
High fastball, a pitch that Byron probably didn't want to swing at, but it was up in the zone. Rodon picking up his second strikeout. See the fastball letter high.
And now the Twins need a 2-out hit from Escobar with the infield back at standard depth. Escobar taking down and in. First time that Rodon hasn't thrown a first pitch strike. Escobar's numbers much better as a right-handed batter than left.
Oh, that's
inside again.
3 for 17 against Rodon. Of course, Escobar played here in Chicago before coming over to the Twins.
And a base hit to center, a 2-out hit. And through this month of August, the Twins have done a great job getting 2-out run-producing hits, and Escobar just got it.
Well, it's guys picking up each other. When you're playing well like the way they have, you just know, okay, Buxton struck out, no big deal. Rodon fell behind an account, left the pitch up. Escobar right back up the middle, picking up Dozier for his 43rd run batted in. So the walk comes back and hurts Rodon.
And the error, too, by error charged to Narvaez, but the Ball should have been caught by Anderson. Here is Chris Jimenez. Back-to-back starts for Jimenez yesterday. Went 3 for 3, hit a home run.
And they put him in the number 5 spot in the
Right.
lineup. Expected to drive in runs. He did yesterday, drove in a couple.
Elsono, of course, not with the team, back home on the disabled list. Jason Castro will catch the second game. Paul Molitor wanting the right-handed hitting Jimenez, matching up against Rodon. And 1-1.
Jimenez looking down at third base coach Gene Glenn. Escobar, the sneaky little runner over there. 4 stolen bases in 4 attempts.
And now inside, 2-1.
2-1.
Bigger lead for Escobar.
To left. And Garcia makes the catch. Twins get a leadoff walk from Brian Dozier and a 2-out hit from Escobar. They take a 1-0 lead. But Tim Melville's got a lead to work with as he takes the mound for the first time in a Twins uniform. Menard's batting order that he'll face: Lurie Garcia leading off, Yoan Moncada batting second, Jose Abreu. Nicky Delmonico's off to a great start this year with the White Sox, then Avisail Garcia, Yolmer Sanchez, Tim Anderson, Omar Narvaez, and Adam Engel.
And it will be 27-year-old Tim Melville on making his first Twins start, his 3rd career start, his 4th major league game, 2 starts and an appearance for the Cincinnati Reds last year. Won his first major league game last year in his first outing with the Reds against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Those are his numbers in AAA.
Twins out on the field, and Rosario, Buxton, and Kepler across the outfield. Escobar at third, Polanco, Dozier up the middle. Mitch Garver at first for the 2nd straight game. And Chris Jimenez behind the plate.
I take that back. He's 0-1 in his career for Melville, so he's looking for his major league win.
Rick Renteria understands the situation. White Sox in rebuild mode. The rebuild started in the offseason and has continued through the season. And let's see how many strikes Tim Melville can throw. That has been the biggest issue for him. Plenty of velocity. He'll reach the mid-90s. Strike on the outside corner at 94, and it bears repeating. When the Twins were last here in May, a little situation in the White Sox dugout. Anderson involved in something. And Rick Renteria, I think we saw him walking down the dugout with some purpose in his gait. So I don't know, it has something to do with the throw to second base that Anderson kind of fanned on, and the error charged to the catcher. Inside 2-1.
Something may have been said that created some havoc.
Well,
who knows? But
the play wasn't made, and if I'm Narvaez, I'm upset that I got tagged with the error. The shortstop should have caught the ball. 2-1 to Garcia, and a foul. 2-2. Go back to May when the Twins were last here, and Melville was pitching for the Long Island Ducks, an independent league. The Twins signed him to a minor league deal, assigned him to Chattanooga. He pitched very well there, promoted him to AAA, and he did well there. So the hope is he'll do well here. 3-2.
well, you know, I mentioned last year with the Cincinnati Reds, they let him go. He went through the winter, ended up pitching in Mexico for winter ball. Was not signed by anybody, and that's what sent him over to the independent league.
Chopper right side. And Melville on the bag just ahead of Garcia, one away. So Garver, who's not the most experienced first baseman, it's kind of a timing play and something that you go through an awful lot in spring training. Garver made that play, and Melville right where he should be.
Well, you know what? You kind of wait for that good hop, too. Garver had to kind of wait for the hop, and then the responsibility of the pitcher, get over there to first base. Of course, when the pitcher covers first base, everybody goes to the mound to give him a couple breathers. Right there, quick foot. Good, quick pass right there. Melville putting that right foot on the bag for Garcia.
Now Moncada. It seems odd, doesn't it, that they'd have to do that, since we've been told for years that pitchers are the best athletes on the team.
Ask Torrey Hunter that.
Oh, you were watching. You heard Torrey.
I heard that. I have already talked to Torrey.
Oh, you have? Okay. Fouled away, 1-1.
See, people take what I say way too serious.
How could they possibly have done that all these years? 1-1. And now 2-1.
Melville, a good sized guy, 6'4", about 225.
2-1.
Originally signed by the Kansas City Royals in the 4th round back in 2008.
Up and away, 3-1, back-to-back 3-ball counts.
In the minor leagues, now this is 9 minor league seasons, not including the independent league. 747 innings pitched, 339 walks.
And 5 pitch walks this one good.
That's, like you mentioned, Dick, that has been an issue for this young man.
1 on, 1 out. A 1-0 Twins lead. Abreu coming to the plate, and we're going to Kevin Gord.
Yeah, it's time for our car soup scoop from the clubhouse, guys. We'll start with Byron Buxton. His hitting coach, James Rosen, said right now the patience at the plate's the difference. More time in the hitting zone for the bat. The confidence right now exuded, even with that strikeout in the first from Buxton, a really key player in that lineup. A couple of pitches that could be key in September for Minnesota. Paul Molitor talked about it today with Mejia and Santiago, both scheduled to pitch here late in the month. 29th and 30th of August, they start that process. At the best case scenario, Molitor said mid-September they could really help this team for that late push if they're still in the playoff mix. And fantasy football on a lot of people's minds, as this is a big draft week for many, including the Twins. Their league has their draft Saturday after the game in Toronto. Now, Trevor Plouffe was the longtime commissioner. He's passed that torch on to Phil Hughes, and Kyle Gibson was talking in the clubhouse today. Some trash talking with teammates as he spoke to me about the strategy involved with the big Twins fantasy football draft that takes place Saturday night, gentlemen.
All right, 1-0 to Jose Abreu on a hot streak, 9-game hitting streak, and he's hitting nearly 500. Swinging a foul that.
Abreu in his 4th season with the White Sox. He's kind of the go-to type guy. You can see the numbers, 24 home runs.
Getting back to Kevin's point about Alberto Mejia and Hector Santiago, the fact that they and Phil Hughes are unavailable here in August allows Melville to get a spot start in the absence of anyone else. If he pitches well, he might continue to stay in the rotation. Runner goes, and the pitch grounded foul. And Abreu, I think the bat, a follow through, hit Jimenez, and they check with each other. Everybody's okay.
I'll take a look at the swing right here. Abreu hitting that ball, and then in the backswing, getting the left thigh area of Jimenez as he bounced up to watch the play.
1-2 to Jose Abreu. Pitches, only 6 strikes. Tim Melville.
A pretty nervous young man, I'm sure. Got to get that ball over the plate. Last year with the Reds, 2 starts, 3 games, worked a total of 9 innings. Walked 9 in those 9 innings with 8 strikeouts.
Play. Garver put the tag on. Two and 2 to Abreu. Fouled away. Talked yesterday during the telecast that the Diamondbacks, obviously in a pennant race or in a wild card chase, and they had pretty much had a bullpen game at this juncture of the season. Well, this is the Twins version of the same issue. You have pitchers that get hurt, and in the Twins case they've been able to promote from within, but in this case within is someone who wasn't with the organization until June 12th. Another 2-2. Around the hands, a full count. Delmonico on deck. 3 plate appearances, 3 3-ball counts. Runner goes. Base hit in the right field. Kepler backhands it, fires it back in. And Abreu to second with a double. Good at bat for Abreu as he continues to rack up hits.
Well, that's why he's such a good hitter. The ball away, he didn't try to pull it, just went with it. His 34th double of the year. Breaking ball right there, but it stayed up. Abreu, 2014 American League Rookie of the Year. Been doing a lot of that since he's come from Cuba to the White Sox.
Now Nicky Delmonico, who has not only got a great name, but he's swinging the bat awfully well for the White Sox. First pitch strike. Monaco hitting and hitting for power. Really OPS.
Monaco in his rookie season, getting called up not too long ago. Originally signed by the Orioles in 2011.
Signed 1-1. If you're wondering number-wise how extensive the rebuild is here in Chicago, there are only 11 players on the roster here on, in late August that were with the White Sox on opening day. 11. Delmonico, one of the additions. Bouncer to first. Garver will go to the bag, and the runners don't come home or advance. Moncada, with the infield playing back, stayed at third. Wow. 2 down. That was an automatic run.
Nick Capper right there, the third base coach, probably saying that, hey, you got to be ready on contact. Got to see where the infield is. Garver playing at deep first base.
That's a huge break for Tim Melville. 2 down. And now Avisail Garcia. I think we're quite willing to concede the run there with the infield playing back. Garcia swinging it again. Seems like he always is swinging the bat well when he's playing the Twins. Getting 417 over the last week and a half. Into center field. Moncada scores. Abreu behind him, and the White Sox take a 2-1 lead.
Well, Garcia has just tortured Twins pitching this year. And like Escobar for the Twins needed a 2-out hit. White Sox needed a 2-out hit, and Garcia drives in a couple runs with that base hit up the middle. Jumping on that first fastball. Dozier diving for it, trying to knock it down. It's out of his reach. That allows Abreu to score from second base.
Now Yolmer Sanchez. Top of the inning, the leadoff walk scored. In the bottom, the 1-out walk scored. And a couple of well-hit balls by a couple of red-hot hitters. Abreu and Garcia. Now a fly ball left center field. Rosario, Buxton converge, and it's Rosario's ball for the 3rd out. A 2-1 lead for Chicago after 1. The Twins have a whole bunch of players that can help on each side, you know, in the top half of the inning and the bottom half of the inning. Rosario, we know he can hit the grand slam, but then his throw later on in the ballgame was incredible.
Iannetta, the catcher, running, and the throw airmailed all the way to Jimenez. Jimenez made the tag. What a throw, you're right, by Rosario.
And it's Rosario leading off the second. And within his breakthrough season, if we can call it that, he averaged over 300, and he's hitting lefties almost as well as righties, hitting 295 against left-handed pitching. 1 strike. He'll be followed by Garver and Kepler.
He hasn't figured out Rondon yet. 7 at-bats. Rondon has struck him out 6 times.
And he's ahead quickly 0-2. Twins with a bench of Castro, Adrianza, and Vargas. Some Paul Molitor's options. Not what he would like at this point. Fly ball center field. Coming in is Engel. Pretty good breeze blowing straight in from center field as we begin play here today. 1 down. That'll bring up Mitch Garver. You see the flags out in center blowing in.
And you also see where the sun is setting. You can see the shadows, especially of Engel or the left fielder, going out toward that left field area. So some balls might be hard to pick up right off the bat, especially in the shadows, and they're in the sun.
Here's Garver. Got an infield hit in the ball game yesterday, his first big league hit. Asked to play first base.
All out.
2-0.
Rondon making his 7th career start against the Twins. 4 of the first previous 6 starts, quality starts, 6 innings, 3 earned runs or less. He's got 3 wins, 2 losses, ERA at 3.6.
All in.
3-0. With Kepler on deck. And a strike, says Greg Gibson.
All out.
And Garver takes a 1-out walk. Second walk issued by Rodon. That'll bring up Kepler. Kepler showing some signs of having better at bats against left-handed pitching, but he's 0 for 8 against Rodon. And a big hit against the lefty T.J. McFarland in the first inning yesterday. A 2-run double to left center field. Strike over the inside corner. You can see the splits hitting almost twice as high against righties as lefties. He drove in a couple of big runs against McFarland yesterday. Foul back. Rodon's wipeout pitch, his strikeout pitch is the slider.
Struck out Mauer and Buxton on that fastball, but you're right, he does have a nasty quick slider.
On the outside corner with a fastball.
They wanted that ball inside, left out over the plate, and on 3 pitches he picks up his 3rd strikeout. Narvis, you see where he wants it inside, but clipping the outer part of the plate.
Polanco, the batter. Strike in the outside corner. And low, 1-1. Kicks away and rolls over by the Chicago dugout. Garver to second base.
Be a wild pitch charged to Rodon, his 4th wild pitch of the year. So it gets Garver into scoring position with 2 outs.
A hit to the outfield might tie the game.
It looked like that slider breaking ball right in front of home plate. Jarvis can't knock it down, keep it near him. Allows Garver to get to second.
Two and 1. Pitch is up 3-1. Dozier on deck. This is a game that was supposed to be played back on May 10th, a Wednesday night. It was weathered out. We've got a conventional doubleheader here. The second game will get started about a half hour after the conclusion of the first one. 3-1 to the Twins shortstop. And a foul, 3-2.
Blanco Orioles had a very good month of August, hitting almost 400. And he, like Buxton, driving in some runs and scoring some runs. Has 8 stolen bases in the 11 attempts. Rodon wanting the catcher to come out. Go over this 3-2 pitch.
Already a lot of pitches for Rodon. 41. 22 strikes. Twins got a clutch 2-out hit to score their first run in the first inning. Now looking for another one from Polanco.
Rodon making his 61st career start. He's never had a complete, he has one complete game. 19 wins, 20 losses. Big game coming a couple years ago against the Angels.
Full count to Polanco. Struck him out. A pitch down and in.
That's that slider right there.
Polanco slams his helmet down, and the Twins leave Garver at second base. Milwaukee gave up a couple of hits and a couple of runs. He's the third Twins pitcher to be taken out of the independent Atlantic League.
Brendan Kensler.
Well, he's no longer with the team. There's another one.
There's another one.
Nick Turley and Buddy Boshears.
Right.
Melville getting a chance here now, hoping for a cleaner second inning, starting with Tim Anderson. First pitch strike.
Good curveball right there. You know what? That's what the independent league is good for. You know, gives guys a second, sometimes a third chance. And some guys just mature late as far as pitchers and also hitters.
Gives you a chance to keep playing, and keep in baseball shape. Given the state of pitching in Major League Baseball, the existence of the independent league may have kept Melville engaged to the point where now he's pitching in the big league. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
Another good breaking ball there.
1-2.
Anderson, Narvaez, and Engel. On the right field line, and twisting foul. Some more info on Tim Melville. The 15th Twins starter this year. Generally only have 5 at a time, so that gives you some idea about. And it's not just the Twins. We told you about the Diamondbacks yesterday. Being a career minor league or major league relief pitcher. T.J. McFarland and giving him a start. Bouncer to second. Easy play for Dozier. He's going to hop one away. And with one down, let's check in with Kevin Gore.
Guy's always unique when you play a doubleheader starting at 4 o'clock, but today a little extra unique for the Twins. They got here, and we're partaking as a group in the solar eclipse. Everybody out of the clubhouse today, including the manager, Paul Molitor. They had their glasses on. They were checking things out. They were bantering back and forth. There were pictures on their cell phones, lots of tweeting and texting, and you can see the coaching staff out there. There's Paul Molitor right there in the middle. Brian Dozier was the first one out of the clubhouse. He was kind of the ringleader, had the glasses for everybody, and look at that, Big Sex even out there looking good with his glasses on. A lot of fun.
Down and away, ball one. Now, we wore some glasses during our pregame segment, and they're unique glasses because you really can't see anything but the sun with them. You can't see anything. Takes low 2-0. They'd have come in handy last year as the Twins were losing 103 games. We could have used those glasses last year. 2-0 to the Chicago catcher. Now there's another one coming in what, 7 years? So I'm going to keep mine. And
I already gave mine away.
Did you really? I'm going to keep mine, and wherever I am 7 years from now, I might pull them out and use them again.
Make sure you get all the dust off of them first.
Chop toward Dozier. He's got another easy play with a shoulder high hop. 2 down. It's kind of unfortunate, I guess, because the clouds really thickened here about 15 minutes before the eclipse began. So we had diffused light to begin with, and to be perfectly honest, it was a neat thing. To be perfectly honest, if you and I were sitting up here getting ready to do a game as we normally do, and if you didn't know there was an eclipse, would you have known the difference? Would you have known if something's different?
Well, yeah, it got dark.
That noticeably dark. It was cloudy out.
Well, I mean, it's cloud, but I'm sure if it was like now and the sun is bright,
right,
I'm sure we would have noticed it without clouds.
It was interesting because somebody pointed out to me down by the dugout when I was down there that you could hear the locusts chirping, or whatever locusts do, because they were duped into thinking that it was getting close to sunset.
Nice grab by that van. Didn't even move. Take a look. A sparse crowd. Look at that ball. Right to him. Nice. Very nice hands.
Didn't pan. 1-1 to Angle. Fly ball down the right field line.
That might drift back. Yep.
Garver on the warning track makes the catch. And Melville has a 1-2-3 second inning. It's our cold hard fact for game one, brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Carlos Rodon has given up at least one home run in 7 straight starts. So is Corey Kluber. So is Taijuan Walker. We'll see if Brian Dozier can hit one here to tie the game up.
Well, you mentioned Brian's first at bat. He has 3 home runs against Rodon.
Drew a walk and scored in the first inning, and for Dozier, that's his 10th walk, counting this game. His 10th walk in his last 5 games. Up and away, ball 1. It'll be Dozier, Mauer, and Buxton here in the 3rd. Drive to center, a bullet. Angle going back and over, makes the catch on the edge of the track.
That's what they say here in Chicago. Angle, can he hit up here because he can play defense? Tremendous speed, got a good jump on that. Brian hit it sharply. You see where he's playing, shading him a little bit to left field, but tracks it down nicely on the warning track.
And that'll bring up Mauer. Mauer struck out in the first inning. Twins have 11 games left in the month of August. Right now they're 13-6. So if they win 7 more games, how many wins would they have?
That would be like 20.
Yeah. And Twins fans, I'll bet, would be surprised to know that their last 20-win season wasn't that long ago. Been a tough go, and of course last year strike to Mauer, and it's 0-2. May of 2015, the Twins won 20 ball games. Twins won 83 games in Paul Molitor's first year. 2 strikes to Mauer. And now 1-2.
I like to say, let's get number 14 first.
You can't play them 7 at a time. You got to play them 1 at a time.
Yeah, sad to say.
Really?
Today, 2 at a time.
Well, in fact, it really will feel that way too. Players, I would imagine, get kind of accustomed to the split doubleheader format, and now this is going to be a little bit different. Preferable, maybe, but still different. Instead of having a multi-hour break between games, it's stretch, whatever, grab a quick bite to eat, go ready to play, and get ready to play the second game.
Yeah, when I came up in the 70s, there were a lot of these were scheduled on these schedules, so you knew, you know, and I liked them. But I was a pitcher. I'd maybe pitch one of them. But the everyday players, it wears you down.
Line to third. A couple of well-hit balls for the first 2 outs here in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, Sanchez standing exactly where Mauer hit that line drive.
Speaking of stretching and staying loose, stretch it out at Target Field with Yoga Night. On Wednesday, September 6th, the event features a 1-hour on-the-field yoga class taught by Core Power. The event tickets include a Twins-branded yoga mat, Twins game tickets, and a donation to the Twins Community Fund. You can get your tickets at twinsbaseball.com/yoga. Now, I have been intrigued with the idea of getting into yoga. Maybe that would be my opportunity. September 6th, it's a day game against Tampa Bay.
I say go for it.
Haven't you ever thought about yoga?
We did a little bit of yoga when, you know, the stretching part back in the 70s.
Now, if I do this thing on the 6th, I don't have to wear yoga pants, do I?
Oh, yeah, that's part of it.
Really?
Yeah, the tights.
So I got to wear those things to do the yoga class?
And I want a photo of that.
Well, suddenly I'm not as optimistic or as enthusiastic as I might have been. 3-0 now to Buxton with Escobar on deck. Regular gym shorts would work, wouldn't it?
Oh, no, you need the tights.
Hard ground ball, that's fair. And Buxton continues to pile up extra base hits. And he'll take a big turn at second and hold there. So everything's been hit right on a barrel here against Rodon as he's facing the Twins lineup for the 2nd time.
Yeah, Buxton with his 10th double of the year. Took this pitch. That's middle in and down. And pulled it right down that 3rd baseline. That's one thing I think we've seen. Buxton, when that ball down, he's really diving into it, making good contact.
And as they say, just dropping the barrel of the bat on it, right?
Second hit for the Twins. It comes with 2 outs here in the third.
I think there's been a little issue here between Rodon and Greg Gibson, the home plate umpire. Gibson was pretty quick to the mound as they were gathering there, and I don't know that Rodon's upset with Gibson's strike zone. Let's have the tying run at second again, and a very fleet-footed runner in Byron Buxton. Escobar drove in the first run in the first inning with a single to center.
Went 2 outs, and here there are 2 outs, and the speedy Buxton at second.
Fastball up. Escobar driving in his 43rd run of the year. Baseball presented by State Farm.
Big story in baseball takes us to the north side of Chicago. Yesterday, Toronto, looking to avoid the sweep at Wrigley, had a 5-3 lead going in the bottom of the 10th, but this 2-run single helped the Cubs rally with 3 in the bottom of the 10th. Alex Avila, the hero, with that 2-run single, and the celebration was on. After that tough first half of the season, the Cubs are right where we expected them to be. They are now 2 games up on the Brewers, 3.5 up on the St. Louis Cardinals. A sweep over Toronto, and an emphatic sweep with that. Our big story is the 3-run rally in the 10th, guys, to get the Brooks out at Wrigley Field.
Yeah, the Cubs did have kind of a flat first half, but they put things together. The trade of Jose Quintana from the White Sox to the Cubs seems to have coincided or helped facilitate the surge by the White Sox. Here's Lurie Garcia, first pitch, foul back.
Yeah, second time through the White Sox lineup for Tim Melville. Gave up a couple runs on that 2-run single by Garcia in the first.
Pulled foul, and it's 0-2. Mentioned this is the 6th doubleheader this year for the Twins. The White Sox just their 2nd. So if it seems like the Twins have been playing a lot of doubleheaders, it's because they've been playing a lot of doubleheaders. Up and away, 1-2.
1-2.
40 games left for the Twins, counting this game in the regular season. Foul. The Twins, by the slimmest of margins, have the 2nd wild card spot right now. a fraction of a percentage point over the Angels. Swing and a miss, and Melville gets a strikeout.
Good curveball right there.
His
First strikeout. So he's retired 5 in a row since Garcia's 2-run single in the first inning. Straight over the top, good bite, good location. Left-handers like that ball down, the ball underneath the swing of Garcia.
Here's Yoan Moncada, drew a walk and scored a run in the first inning. Breaking ball left up high. You'd never know it now because he looks pretty stocky. But when Melville was a kid, he was diagnosed with something called pectus excavatum, which basically means he had the appearance of having a sunken chest. And they had to insert a titanium rod to help his skeletal system. And he looks pretty solid right now.
Yeah, the rod's bar stayed in for nearly 2 years before it was removed.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Melville after the throw to first.
Back-to-back good breaking balls down and in.
He could be forgiven, couldn't he, for having a few butterflies in that first inning when he walked somebody in?
Well, you know, you give up a couple runs, you tell yourself, like, I have to hold it at that right there. So the sequence of pitches, there's that curveball that struck out Garcia, too. Good location.
Looks like the old 12-6 drop. 2 down, and now Abreu. Lined a double into right field in the first inning, fouled back. Within the White Sox rebuild, there are guys like Abreu and I suppose Garcia, Avisail Garcia, maybe even Lurie Garcia, were kind of caught in between. They didn't have the seniority of Todd Frazier or Melky Cabrera, but they're the next in line in terms of veterans here. Chopped foul. When you go through a rebuilding process, if you're the general manager Rick Hahn, in the case here in Chicago, you're imagining a competitive team at whatever date, you know, whether it's 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever. And then you have to look at players like Abreu and say, well, now are they going to be a part of this when things get good here again? 0-2, Melville to Abreu. And he hung with the pitch, fouled it away, still 2 strikes.
Well, you mentioned gone are Melky Cabrera, Todd Frazier, you know, Jose Quintana, you mentioned that. Anthony Swarzak, who kind of was outstanding in that bullpen, along as their closer, David Robertson. So
all gone.
Big names right there. No longer wearing White Sox uniforms.
Abreu is 30 years of age. Since we last saw the White Sox, Cabrera has been traded to the White Sox, or to the Royals rather. Frazier to the Yankees, Dan Jennings to Tampa Bay, Tommy Kahnle to the Yankees, Quintana to the Cubs, Robertson to the Yankees, Swarzak, we saw him with the Brewers. Another 0-2 to Jose Abreu. Another foul ball.
Oh, were there 5 pitchers on that list? So, I mean,
yeah.
5 guys mainly in the bullpen. So it'll be a whole new bullpen.
Melvin's strike percentage has really improved since the first inning. This will be his 50th pitch. He's thrown 32 strikes. He just can't get strike 3 past Abreu. Another foul ball. The White Sox are rebuilding, and depending on what you read and who you believe, the Tigers might be the next team to follow in terms of trying to get rid of some payroll, get rid of some veterans. They've already done that with J.D. Martinez. Might do that with Justin Verlander. 1-2. 6 fouls and now ball 1. This Abreu plate appearance. Landed about 5 feet in front of the plate. 2-2.
Don't know what that pitch was, but hopefully he won't throw it again. Maybe a changeup.
It's just trying to change Abreu's eye angle.
Well, he kept it down. You can't throw balls underneath the plate, though.
Minor foul.
Watch out.
It's not a strike, is it, if you bounce it and it is knee level?
If you could do that, I mean, baseball would allow that. That would be awesome. A little cricket.
This will be the 17th pitch that Abreu has seen in his 2 plate appearances, and he finally gets him with a high fastball.
Strikes out the side.
Strikes out the side in the 3rd inning. Fox Sports North is presented by Northland Ford. Visit buyfordnow.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today. By Grand Casino, the best stories start here. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. We'll see if we can time it right for you. We've got the first game, then there'll be about a half-hour break, and you can have the pizza delivered during the half-hour break or whatever you're going to have for dinner. Then we got another game coming for you later tonight. Rodon delivers strike 1. Jimenez hit the ball hard. In fact, everybody, just about everybody who's put the ball in play has hit it hard against Rodon here this afternoon. Now out in front, and it's 0-2.
Good changeup right there after a fastball in the low 90s. Rodon 8 of 14 first pitch strikes. Giving up only 2 hits, an RBI single to Escobar, and then the 2-out double by Buxton last inning.
Jimenez, Mauer, and Dozier have all lined out.
Slider.
1-2. Twins appear to be putting together their best month of the year, and it may take that and another really strong month in September to get them into the postseason. Fouled away. 5 games here in Chicago, 3 in Toronto, and then the Twins host the White Sox for 3 games and the Royals for 3 games. But when the Twins finish up with Chicago on August 31st at Target Field, they'll be done with the White Sox this year. Foul, and Jimenez cracks his back.
Yeah, coming into this ball game, the 12th time these teams have met. Twins lead the season series 7-4. Twins are 4-1 here. And guaranteed rate field.
Just rolls off your tongue, doesn't it? Fouled back. Twins 7-4 against the White Sox, 8-4 against the Royals. Losing record against the Indians and the Tigers. Jimenez, Rosario, and Garver here in the Twins 4. That slider down and in. It got another strikeout. Pretty much the same pitch that he struck out Polanco.
And strikeout number 5.
Sanford Health injury report. Miguel Sano back in Minnesota. Put on the 10-day disabled list with a left shin stress reaction, the result of fouling a ball off his shin. Kenny Vargas is here. And he will play some at first base, play some at the DH spot.
Yeah, Vargas has been in kind of the yo-yo, 5 different stints with the Twins. There's Kenny. Between the Twins and Rochester.
Yoan Moncada, the White Sox, has had some shin issues. He's missed a few games back in the lineup tonight. Rosario takes a strike. Paul Molitor acknowledging that everybody's different, but the hope is that the 10 days will be enough to get Miguel back on his feet and back in the lineup. Strike 2 to Rosario, and he spins away in disbelief.
A slider for strike 1, then a fastball down. And another slider down.
And Rosario on 3 is a strikeout victim. 2 down. We'll bring up Garver.
Well, Rosario, he did make contact in his last at bat, but again, now that's 7 times he has struck out against Rodon in 9 plate appearances.
Fox Tracks presented by Chief. Here is Garver. Garver's drawn a couple of walks, struck out a couple of times, has 1 hit. Takes a strike on the outside corner. And now a ball. Garver drew a 5-pitch walk in the 2nd inning.
Oh, well.
2-1. You may notice none of the umpires today are wearing the white wristbands that they wore Saturday. A couple of them did at Target Field. They've been told not to. So they'd be fined if they continued to show their form of protest. Thought it was interesting Saturday night. Angel Hernandez and Ted Barrett wore them. The other umpires did not. So again, it wasn't really a show of unity because only 2 of the 4 umpires did that.
Yeah, and they did not wear it on Sunday in
Right.
yesterday's ball game. Only that 1 game.
3-1 to Garver. And a ball poked foul. Kepler on deck. 71 pitches for Rodon.
3-2.
Driven to right. But right at Garcia. Well hit ball. Another line out. That's the 4th line out the Twins have had against Rodon. caught up thanks to by Toyota. Thanks to Toyota.
All the scoring in the first inning. Twins took an early 1-0 lead. A 2-out single by Eduardo Escobar scored Dozier. But at the bottom of the first, a big 2-out single that drove in a couple runs by Garcia, Avisail Garcia. And 7 straight retired by Tim Melville after that 2-run single by Garcia in the first inning.
Nicky Delmonico hitting in the cleanup spot will lead off the 4th against Melville. You've had a chance to see Melville. We're all seeing him for the first time. What do you think of him mechanically?
You know what? If he stays over that pitching rubber a little bit longer, he allows that arm to catch up. He's got good stuff. He's 6'4", creates that good downward plane. Has shown that breaking ball. It seems like it's getting better and better. In the first inning, he was maybe overthrowing it, but right there you see sometimes you have a tendency to lean forward, not allowing your arm to catch up. But all in all, he's pitched well.
Popped up, back and out of play. Now he's already had Tommy John surgery, and it's
who hasn't?
I was going to say, but and every once in a while you hear about somebody who needs a second one. But there is that. He's already blown out the elbow and had it reconstructed, and now is, you know, we've seen 94. I don't think we've seen 95, but we've seen 94 in terms of velocity.
That's a good curveball right there, fouled off by Delmonico.
He has been stretched out in the minor leagues as a starter, so we would assume he'd be ready to go 90, 100 pitches. He's already thrown 58.
He last worked on the 13th of August, 6 2/3 innings for Rochester Red Wings.
Pitches up at 95. 2-2. Middle of the White Sox lineup, Delmonico, Garcia, and Sanchez.
If I'm Melville, all I tell myself to stay back, create that downward plane, and then same thing for the good curveball he's shown. Like that, but that's a good take by Delmonico.
Now it's a full count.
3-2.
Speed pitch missed for a leadoff walk.
Second walk.
Full of good takes by Delmonico. Join Fox Sports North at the next viewing party Wednesday this week, beginning at 6:30 at Muddy Cow in Coon Rapids. Watch Minnesota take on the White Sox. Enjoy specials, prizes, and more. Visit foxsportsnorth.com/events for details.
Muddy Cow.
Muddy Cow. Here is Garcia, drove in the 2 Chicago runs with a 2-out single in the first.
Yeah, he jumped on that first fastball middle in and hit it right back up the middle, sharply into center field.
Fouled away again, going after the fastball. Strike one.
Garcia making the All-Star team for the first time this year, representing the White Sox.
Missing inside, 1-1.
Looks like that's where they're going to try him. All the pitches are called by Jimenez, who's basically calling the game for Tim Melville, have been inside. Garcia having a breakthrough season.
Check swing, 2-1.
Here you go.
We've talked.
Yeah, I don't know if that was Greg Gibson that yelled that. Did he go, or was it Chris Jimenez?
No, I bet you it was Gibson. Or Mike. In part
If you know
because there are
Chris
too many.
If you know Chris Jimenez, it might have been him.
Microphone in part because there aren't many fans here. You can hear some of the discussion around home plate.
Jimenez sitting inside again. Oh, Garcia shaking that right hand. I might have got his right hand. Oh, ran in on him. Good. watch a swing right here.
Wrist.
Just jammed himself with the bat.
Trying to bring his hands in and swing, and sure looked like he might have been wincing in pain because of his wrist or hand. 2-2.
See if they go back in there again. Jimenez behind the plate where he's going to move. Now breaking ball.
Drilled to right center field. Kepler fields, fires to second. He'll hold Garcia to a single, but now the leadoff walk and another hit by Garcia, and the White Sox are in business.
Well, he left that breaking ball up, and Garcia, I said he's having a breakthrough season. He waited back nicely and just took that ball the other way. Watch his reaction at the plate. Waiting back. Didn't try to pull it. Just like Abreu's at bat in the first inning when he hit the double down the right field line. So a good piece of hitting by Garcia.
And they're starting to get loose in the Twins bullpen. Yolmer Sanchez, the batter, hit a fly ball to left to end the first inning. Third. Melville's shown some strikeout ability. He struck out the side in the third inning. Now here in the fourth, right away, he's in a situation where he could use one. Monaco at third, Garcia at first, nobody out. Twins infield playing for a double play grounder.
Avisail Garcia at first base, 5 stolen bases in 7 attempts. White Sox don't run a lot. They have 44 stolen bases. They've been caught 26 times. So Darryl Boston right there, the first base coach, helping Garcia read the signs. Number 6 on the year for Sanchez. Take a look at the pitch. It's a fastball, stayed about belt high, and Sanchez opened up and hit it deep into the night, just over the fence in right center.
Front, Tim Anderson, strike one. Two in the first and 3 quickly here in the fourth. Still nobody out. And a double hit, just 1 strike. 0-2. And for Melville, his difficulty, as it did in the first inning, started with a walk. Missing down in the right corner. 1-2. Nick Turley getting loose in the Twins bullpen. Tyler Duffy was up before the home run. Anderson strikes out, 1 away.
Better curveball right there. Picks up his 4th strikeout.
And Omar Narvaez well back. Narvaez with a grounder to second his first time up.
Tight rotation, and Anderson, who has struck out a lot this year, strikes out again.
Melville standing on the rubber, waiting to get going here. Wants to finish this inning on a high note, it might be his last inning. Games in 7 days on this road trip, and the Twins have an off day a week from today. Outside 2-0.
This will be pitch number 75 for Tim Melville.
At the corner that time. 2-1.
23 in the first. This will be number 22 here in the fourth. He struck out the side in the third with 19 pitches.
Three and 1 for the number 8 batter. Three and 2.
Narvis from Venezuela in his second season with the White Sox. He and Kevin Smith, the other catcher, in a splitting time.
3-2.
Full count to Narvaez. Bouncer foul. Kevin Gorg over there, or is he over in the by the third base?
He's right there. We see him. There he is. Hi, Kevin.
You got the international acknowledgement that he's okay.
Yeah, hiding behind the camera.
Or
Perfect.
he was summoning paramedics, one or the other. I'm not sure. And now the other way, and the other camera.
Another camera well. Watch out.
That one was a little bit hotter than the one down the first baseline.
I'm surprised Kevin didn't barehand that one.
I've still got the reflexes. I'm a retired goalie, but I can still make that play. But I am smart enough to hide behind these fine gentlemen working the cameras here.
So you're a former goalie. Did you wear a mask?
Nice. Nicely played, Bird. Nicely done.
Oh, just outside, and it's a walk to Narvaez.
Hard to believe I did actually wear a mask, but I've been dodging pucks and balls all my life.
You're a good man, Kevin Gore. Third walk for Melville, second this inning.
Dale Allen to the mound. There have been 27 foul balls among the 80 pitches that Melville has thrown. That's a big number.
27 of the 49 strikes he has thrown. Dale Allen trying to get him through this inning. Words of encouragement.
We talk about all the pitchers that the Twins have used, with Melville being the 15th starter and all the relievers that have come and gone. And it's got to be a different world for the pitching coach. But I'm thinking about the two catchers. Twins have had just two catchers. It's been Jimenez and Castro. And that's really got to compound their responsibility. I mean, Jimenez has never caught Melville before.
Yeah, you could go down in a bullpen, which he did, to catch him, while he's warming up. But as the game goes on, is Melville tiring a little bit? What's he trying to throw right here? You see Jimenez sitting inside.
Popped up, fouling out of play. With a little history, Jimenez might know what Melville's best pitch is if the count's 2-1, whatever. But when you're learning about each other together in a big league game, that's not the easiest thing in the world.
I remember when Aaron Schlagers pitched. Jimenez had caught him a couple times in spring training, so he kind of had an idea what he was going to get out on that mound.
And Angle gets hit. Now they're two board. And we'll see if that is the end of the day for Melville. And here comes Paul Mott.
They tried to go inside again. This one runs in on Angle. Puts him in the rib area.
Melville goes through the lineup twice. 5 runs. And a couple of men left aboard.
Yeah, that 3-run home run hurt.
So Melville checks out. And Leury Garcia will face Nick Turley when we come back. In a little bit. He retired 7 men in a row, struck out the side in the 3rd, but then the leadoff walk has led to his exit here in the 4th. Love Your Melon Night coming up September 14th, and a limited number of special ticket packages include a game ticket and Twins Love Your Melon beanie. Every ticket sold goes to support Love Your Melons program to donate a hat to every child battling cancer in the United States. For details and tickets, visit twinsbaseball.com/loveyourmelon.
You know, Dick, you mentioned 15 different starters used, and Nick Turley, one of those 15 that was used earlier this year, making his 5th appearance, 3 starts. Numbers are not good. 10 innings, 23 hits allowed, 17 runs for Nick Turley, was 4 walks, one of those intentional, 7 strikeouts.
Garcia's 0 for 2. Hit a ground ball to first and struck out against Melville. It's already 5-1. Turley trying to get some big outs here. Needing 2 more here this inning. Up and away, ball 1.
You know, we get a media guide, and they have the 40-man roster where they highlight the media guys, and then back in the late, 300 page 380 in that area starts the minor leaguers that are not on the 40-man roster, and I've used that more this year. Those pages than the other pages. Turley not part of the 40-man roster.
Down the right field line, Kepler's got a little bit of a run. There's the catch. And the flip back to the infield, 2 down. Why do you suppose it is? You know, the Twins are obviously contending and they've got pitching issues. But the Diamondbacks yesterday, you know, they're watching the Brewers creep up in the wild card race behind them. The Cardinals right there too. And they just said, T.J. McFarland, who averaged about an inning and 2/3 in every one of his outings this year, he got the start yesterday. Why is there so little pitching in big league baseball?
Well, I've had the answer. I think everybody would try to figure it out, but even when you look at what they gave McFarland the opportunity to start a game, who did they bring in after him? Shipley, a guy that had made 24 starts in the minor leagues. Why did they not start him? Even though he gave up 3 home runs in 5 2/3 innings.
2 down. Moncada, the batter, with runner at second, runner at first. White Sox have already struck for 3 here in the 4th inning. Nice scoop by Jimenez, and it's 1-1.
Turley, one of those guys that played independent baseball to get back into the big leagues.
In the Twins case, this is all necessary because Phil Hughes broke down, Hector Santiago broke down, Alberto Mejia is hurt as well.
Gibson's inconsistency.
Right.
Set down a couple times.
But I don't know in the history of this game, in terms of innings pitched in a 5-man rotation, that the game of baseball's has asked less of starting pitchers than in the current time now, and there are more injuries than ever before.
You can go down. There's a lot of things that I feel that have generated a lot of that. Weights, I think. Guys are getting too strong. The Tommy John surgery. They're contracting those muscles in the elbow where to throw a baseball is the opposite. The conditioning. Not saying that they're not conditioned, but in the mindset, in the minor leagues, they're conditioned to go 5 or 6 innings. They're not stretched out. The 100 pitch count has come into play. There's a lot of things. The control of the fastball, not taught early in the minor leagues.
2-2. Here's Turley, a guy who's, just kept the dream alive for years and years and years. And why not? If you've got some life in your arm and you can throw it over the plate, there's a place for it at the highest level of this game.
Still 27 years old. This is his 10th season of professional baseball. Signed with the Yankees.
Two and 2. Turley trying to get the Twins off the field here. It's already 5-1 Chicago.
Hey, hold up.
After yesterday's game, the Twins optioned Turley to Rochester, but then added him today as the 26th man with the assumption that he would be available for at least one of the games, and sure enough, here he's in the game in the 4th inning of the opener. And then he necessarily has to be sent down to Rochester after the doubleheader.
Right, and he's one of those guys that is stretched out. He could, hopefully go 3-4 innings. Save some arms out on that bullpen.
There's a fastball for strike 3. Turley comes in, puts out the fire, but Melville was burned for a 3-run home run. Fans of the game, Twins fans here, watching 2 for the price of 1. I don't know if they're going to be there for the second game. Somebody else might be sitting in those seats. Rodon now staked to a 5-1 lead as we start the 5th.
Yeah, Rodon 4 innings. He has given up 1 run, only 2 hits allowed, but 72 pitches in the first 4 innings.
But again, just about everything the Twins have put in play has been hit with authority. We'll see what Kepler could do. Outside, ball 1. Kepler called out on strikes his first time up.
Twins need a multi-run inning to get back into this game.
So lifted over the Chicago dugout 1-1. On it and back into the seats. Left-handed batters, particularly those in the American League Central, are thrilled with what the White Sox are doing. Because a year ago they had Chris Sale, Jose Quintana, this guy who's got pretty filthy stuff when he's healthy. They were no fun for left-handed batters to hit against. Of those guys, Rodon's the only one left. Kind of snapped his bat. Bouncer to Abreu, 1 away. Join Fox Sports North and the Minnesota Twins for Pack at the Park, September 19th or 20th at Target Field. Can't make it to Pack at the Park? Well, you can still support Feed My Starving Children and provide 56 meals to starving children across the world with the purchase of this Feed My Starving Children t-shirt. Visit fmsc.org. Get yours today. We've talked about this before. I've kind of been made aware of and connected with that organization through my kids. It's just a great organization. Here's Polanco taking down and in. Polanco struck out with what was then the tying run at second and 2 down. Strike called clouds are thickening, and there's a chance we might have some precipitation by the time game 2 rolls around.
Let's hope not.
And a strike, and Polanco looks back at Greg Gibson. 1-2.
That looked like a high strike called right there. Take a look at this fastball. Flip the corner. Up and away.
Down to right center field, and Angle gets there. Makes a nice play. Out number 2. Another line drive for an out.
Angle again showing off his speed and his coverage. He made a nice catch off of Brian Dozier's deep fly ball in the 3rd inning. And here this ball kind of slicing away from him. Angle catching up to it.
And as you can see, he was shifted toward right center field to begin with. Second time through the batting order, and the Twins with some loud outs and a 2-out double by Buxton. Here's Dozier. Up high, ball 1. Dozier lined out to Angle his first time up. It was straightaway center field, and Angle tracked it down on the edge of the track. 2-0.
Rodon making his 10th start of the year. Mentioned over his last 4 starts. No decision, but 2.12 ERA. He's been pitching well. Just has not had a lot of run support.
2-1.
Cooper, the pitching coach, has his guys doing here is having pitching at a good pace. It probably started with Mark Burley being here, but get back on that pitching rubber, let the ball go. You're going to have better defense behind you.
And a bouncer, a foul ball. One thing that might come into play as we move through the middle and late innings, the wind change. Cold front coming through. And we showed you earlier the wind blowing in from center field, and now it's blowing out to left. So anything hit up in the air to left field will be assisted by a pretty good breeze. Another 3-2 to Brian Dozier. And slider, cutter, down and in. LeBron strikes out Dozier. And you're watching Twins baseball presented by State Farm.
To 1, and Twin fans, don't forget at Twin home games, you bring your Circle Me signs, you might get circled and find yourself in the Minnesota Lottery winner circle, where you could win $100 worth of lottery scratch-off tickets courtesy of the Minnesota Lottery.
It's 5-1 Chicago. Nick Turley got the last couple outs of the fourth inning. We'll see how long he can take the game and how effective he can be. Abreu, Delmonico, and Garcia in the Chicago fifth. Outside, ball one. Abreu's 25th of the year. Second home run of the afternoon for the White Sox.
Well, that's a fastball right here. And Abreu, that might have been like a little cutter.
Down and away. He just went out and got it.
Turley giving up his fourth home run. And 10 and 2/3 innings.
Hey, hold on.
And now Nicky Delmonico. And a grounder to first. Led off the fourth with a walk and then scored on Sanchez's 3-run home run. Slow breaking ball left up high. Abreu now with 4 home runs in his last 6 games. If there's a notion out there that, all right, 5 games here in Chicago, the Twins should win 4 of them, that discounts the fact that as much as the White Sox are rebuilding, the Twins are just a few games above 500 themselves. And Twins hope to have a winning road trip here. That's been their history. They played awfully well on the road. Teams like the White Sox now, they look forward to series like this. A contending team coming in, and you want nothing more than to rub their noses in it a little bit.
Well, you got a lot of young players too. They're making an impression. They want to stay with the organization. They want to stay in the big leagues.
3-2 to Nicky Delmonico.
3-2.
And Delmonico takes up 9. Early got out of the Twins out of some trouble in the fourth, but now he's running into some of his own right away in the fifth. Twins will have Dylan G going in the second game. And tomorrow it's Kyle Gibson. Wednesday it's Irvin Santana. And Thursday it's Jose Barrios.
Well, that's why it's important that Turley hopefully get 2 or 3 innings of work here, get out of this inning, and maybe go a couple more because of Dylan G. You don't know what you're going to get out of him. He has started earlier this year for the Rangers, but mainly out of the bullpen.
Garcia with 2 sharp singles to center with 2 runs batted in. Off the plate, ball 1.
This is where you find yourself a lot of times. We'll see pitchers that are borderline big league pitchers that find themselves always behind in the count to good hitters like Garcia. So you put yourself in a hole right away by not getting strike 1. Instead of that hitter being on the defense, they become very offensive thinking. Fastball away.
Runner goes, pitch almost to the backstop. And Jimenez, if he has an oblique, lucky he didn't pull one.
Delmonico got a very good jump off of Turley. He steals a base, his second of the season. So he wanted it down and away. Jimenez had to leap to get this ball. Monaco slides in safely. Oh, slides, stands up.
Two and 0. Swing and a miss.
2-1.
First was looking over his shoulder to see whether Monaco was going to be able to score. So nobody out first and third.
Garcia came into this series against the Twins 20 hits and 43 at-bats. That's a .465 batting average with 3 home runs. He picks up his 3rd hit here this afternoon in Game 1.
And Sanchez up with 2 men aboard. Here's what he did in the 4th with 2 men aboard.
A big 3-run home run off of Tim Melville. That made it a 5-1 ball game.
Still nobody out. White Sox have just 6 hits, but half of them have come off the bat of Garcia. All 3 of them bullets to center field. And they say here in Chicago that Garcia, who White Sox almost gave up on, has finally figured out that there are a lot of hits in center and right field.
A breakthrough year. And going back to Turley, stay 6 batters have been able to get strike one on 1 of the 6. 1 of the 6.
1-0 to Sanchez, now hitting right-handed. Foul away.
Tried to slide step right there, and Sanchez fouled it off.
White Sox have already added 1 with a leadoff home run here in the 5th, threatening to put up a crooked number. They've already got a couple on the board, a 2 in the 1st and a 3 in the 4th. Playing the infield back, looking for a double play grounder. For a 5-game series. Don't have many of those, but again, this is a doubleheader today because of a rain out in May. 1-2. We talk about pitchers who have swing and miss stuff. One of the things they do, they avoid all the foul balls. We saw Tim Melville victimized by 29 foul balls or something like that when he was out there.
But a lot of times that's just pitching up in a strike zone.
Right.
You know, hitters see that ball a lot better when it's chest high. They're going to foul it off. They're going to foul off good pitches too.
Another
like
one.
that.
Sanchez out in front, McBeat foul. 36 foul balls from White Sox batters, and we're just, well, there's nobody out in the bottom of the 5th.
White Sox have a guy on a disabled list, Matt Davidson, that is a good-looking player.
Right.
A little bit of wrist injury, and allows Sanchez to play some third base. Usually we see Sanchez playing second.
The right center, Buxton retreating, making the catch, and it'll score Delmonico from third.
Good at bat by Sanchez. He fouled off some pitches. Finally got one he can airborne. Picks up his fourth. Run batted into the ballgame. Now with 38 RBIs on the year. Monaco scores for the second time in the game.
And now Tim Anderson over 2. Anderson with a ground ball to second in the second, then he went down swing. Ball 1. Seven to 1 here in the 5th inning. And Anderson chases.
Anderson, a youngster, #1 pick by the White Sox back in 2013. Last year's rookie season, 99 ball games, hit .283, 9 home runs, has 14 so far this year.
Double play grounder. Nice flip with Polanco flipping it out of his glove to Dozier. A double play grounder. The White Sox get 2 and lead 7 to 1. Added, but it's been the White Sox veterans, Abreu and Garcia and Sanchez, who've gotten the big hits. 7 runs on the board at 7 to 1. Rodon walked the leadoff batter Brian Dozier in the first inning, and he came around to score. And that's been it. White Sox have scored 7 unanswered runs.
He's done a good job attacking the strike zone. He's retired 7 straight twin hitters, 7 strikeouts in a ball game. Has always been a strikeout pitcher, averaging over a strikeout per inning. Those are his numbers. 87 pitches, couple walks, 7 strikeouts.
Mauer 0 for 2 is the designated hitter. He struck out in the first, lined out to third in the third. We expect Joe to play first base in the second game. Missing inside, ball 1. Mauer, Buxton, and Escobar with the Twins trying to chip away at a 6-run deficit.
I know it's a small sample because this is Rodon's only 10th start, but left-handers came into this ball game hitting over 300, 308 off of him. And right now, the left-handers in the Twins lineup 0 for 6 in today's ball game.
1-1 to Mauer. And in the dirt. Twins have a lot to play for this year, but we started talking about it. You see Buxton on deck. It'll be interesting to see what happens elsewhere within the division during the offseason. The White Sox have already committed to a rebuilding project. I mentioned the Tigers might. In Kansas City, you know what's going to happen with the Royals. They faded back, and if they don't make whether they make the playoffs or not this year, they've got some really important decisions to make.
Yeah, a lot of free agents on that ball club.
So they almost certainly will have a new look next year. 3-1. Mauer lifts it foul. And the Indians are built to be the team to beat for quite some time, one would think.
3-2.
And they have some decisions to make with Carlos Santana and some others. Full count to Mauer. And another foul. Turnovers, part of the game, obviously, and it seems to be more prevalent with every passing year. I always thought it was amazing that there were only 7 players who were part of the 87 and 91 Twins. And now it's remarkable that there were that many, it seems like. You know what I mean?
Good number.
Yeah, that's a pretty high number given all the turnover that there is in baseball through trades and free agency. Mauer seen 21 pitches with nearly 100 thrown by Rodon. Good chunk of them have been to the Twins' designated hitter. This will be pitch number 95 on the afternoon. And a great at bat from Mauer, and he ends up with a leadoff single.
Only the 3rd hit for the Twins. And Rodon kind of lost his footing as that ball came back right back up the middle.
Kevin Gore's got a showstopper for us.
Yeah, we're going to go back in time. We're going to take Justin Verlander yesterday, but it was vintage Justin Verlander. Speaking of dominant pitchers, this guy had a no-hitter into the 6th inning with 2 outs in the 6th. His old teammate Curtis Granderson hit a home run off the right field foul pole. But when you face the Dodgers and go 8 innings, just 2 hits, 9 strikeouts, that means something. Look at his numbers within the last 5 starts. Dodgers, though, guys, still 87 and 35. Next closest in wins, Houston with 76, but an awesome game by Verlander yesterday.
Well, you know, his name has been mentioned maybe in trade talks as we wind down the season, and those numbers are just going to get the Tigers more better young players if that's what they're looking for. If they decide to do that.
And I really will be interested if something happens, how much of a prospect bundle he'll get. If the Tigers decide to trade him, they might want to simply just get out from underneath the contract. But there's still a lot of money left there. There's another called strike 0-2. And if I'm Houston and I feel like I need to do something and I want Verlander, I'll be curious how many prospects they would have to give up. And I think the bigger question is how many years of an extension they'd have to guarantee Verlander to okay the trade. Buxton strikes out on 3 pitches.
Good slider down and in. Rodon rolling along. Strikeout number 8. Well, he went right after him, got ahead in the count, and then that nasty slider right there. Buxton could not lay off of. Strikes out for the 2nd time.
Twins trying to build an inning here, and it might be the last inning. Rodon pitches. Talked about the remade bullpen.
Hey, hold on.
Hopefully have better luck against some of the new relievers for Don Cooper and the White Sox. Escobar drove in the Twins run with a 2-out single in the 1st. Drill, foul, fair. It may have hit Sanchez's glove. The ball's landed clearly foul, and Sanchez doesn't argue. I think the ball tipped off his glove. Fan interference is the call, and so it'll be a double for Escobar, but the ball must have hit his glove.
Yeah, Escobar jumped all over this pitch right here. Sanchez leaped for it. You can see the ball slider inside. Watch Sanchez right here. He jumps high for it. It did tip off his glove, and then the fan interfered. So it'll be a ground rule double. Runners at second and third with one out.
And now Jimenez with a chance to get the Twins back in the game.
Escobar picking up his 12th double.
Second hit today. The Twins only have 4. Jimenez lined out to left in the first, struck out swinging in the fourth. Inside ball 1.
Well, 100 pitches for Rodon. Most he has thrown in a ball game, again making just his 10th start. 113. That came against the Red Sox in Boston.
Taken low, 2-0. No activity in the White Sox bullpen.
Don Cooper going out. 25 in the first after that. Very good.
Well, I know they got a 7-1 lead, but the guy's over 100 pitches, and they don't have anybody warming up. Some guys stretching out there. There's only 1 out in the inning here. The Twins, at least during the homestand, showed the ability to put together one good at bat after another.
I'll tell you what, I've watched Don Cooper as a pitching coach. He's one of those pitching coaches that will let certain guys go deeper than some other guys. And I think he feels that way about Rodon. He's not afraid to let him throw 110, 115 pitches.
2-0 to Jimenez. Rosario on deck. Jimenez takes a strike. Jimenez can get one up into the breeze here, headed out towards the White Sox bullpen. 3-1. Now somebody's finally getting out of the bullpen mound out there.
But if you're Don Cooper too, you're looking at the velocity, and the velocity's still there for Rondon. That last pitch at 95. Starting to loosen up. New to the White Sox.
Napkin blows in front of home plate. Greg Gibson calls time. Three and 1. Foul back 3-2.
Jimenez, I'd like to have that pitch back right there. Fouled it off, not over the plate.
First base open, Rosario on deck. Rodon's strikeout pitch to the right-handers has been that slider down and in.
But does he want to throw that here with Jimenez up in a 3-2 count?
Struck Jimenez out with it in the fourth.
I think he goes right after with a fastball.
Narvaez asked for time.
We're going to talk to Narvaez as catcher.
Narvaez trying to sell Rodon on a pitch, patting him on the chest. To Jimenez. And took ball for him.
He went with a slider. I don't like that pitch right there. Got a 6-run lead. Now you walk Jimenez.
Now Rosario will be left. Rodon will be left out there to face Rosario, lefty on lefty. MLB.TV Premium back better than ever. You can watch every out-of-market regular season game live on over 400 supported devices. Plus, get a free subscription to At-Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
Now Rosario again coming into the ball game 0 for 7 against Rondon. Rondon with 6 strikeouts. He's already struck out once here in 2 at-bats.
Yeah, so otherwise, you might think, look, the guy hit a grand slam yesterday. He's a perfect guy to have up there. But a high fly to center. Angle. Win at the catch. The wind pushing it to left field, and a run will score. Mauer on a sacrifice fly makes it 7-2.
Rosario picks up his 51st run batted in. And Joe Mauer scores.
And now we'll see if Garver can get the Twins some more runs out of this situation here. Bases loaded, 1 out. And Rosario driving in a run. Garver walked in the second, lined out to the right fielder Garcia in the 4th. About Garver the other night at Target Field. The Twins envision him being a run producer. Good extra base pop. This will be a good time for his first big league extra base hit. Takes a strike.
Garver down in Rochester, 29 doubles, 17 home runs in 88 ball games.
Back 0-2. White Sox might have made a move with Rodon if not for the fact that Kepler's on deck, and Kepler's struggling against left-handers.
Well, he also had Rosario too. I mean, they could have had a move a couple 2 batters ago.
Garver in an 0-2 hole. One back after 5.5. It's 7-2. By Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the Twin Cities. And by State Farm, here to help life go right with the auto and renter's protection you deserve. Twins got the first run, then the White Sox ran off 7 straight. Now the Twins back on the board in the 6th. And Nick Turley, who came into the game in the 4th, got the last 2 outs, avoiding further damage, then gave up a couple of runs of his own in the 5th. Narvaez, Engel, and Garcia. Fastball on a strike. Slow breaking ball missing.
And it's important for Turley to get through this inning, maybe one more. missing with 2 curveballs.
To deep center, Buxton back, and on the edge of the track, balls it in, 1 down. With Tim Melville starting, he's the 33rd pitcher used by the Twins this year. There have been 16 position players and 1 crossover. Chris Jimenez.
That's a lot of work for the clubhouse guys.
Well,
Hot rod.
the reason I looked it up, it was a bouncer foul. The reason I looked it up, here's Turley, and he was with the Twins before. He's wearing number 66. Won't be long. They're going to be working into the 70s with uniforms.
Be like the Yankees.
Yeah. Here are the pitchers. I'll read through them as quickly as I can. Matt Belisle, Jose Barrios, Buddy Boshears, Craig Breslow, Alan Kuznets, Bartolo Colon, Tyler Duffy, Dietrich Enns, Jaime Garcia, Dylan G, Kyle Gibson, Chris Jimenez, Justin Haley, Chris Heston, Trevor Hildenberger, Phil Hughes, Felix Jorge, Brandon Kinchler, Adalberto Mejia, Tim Melville, Ryan Presley, Taylor Rogers, Andy Rosario, Drew Rucinski, Irvin Santana, Hector Santiago, Aaron Slegers, Nick Tepish, Michael Tonka, Nick Turley, Jason Wheeler, Adam Wilk, and Alex Winters.
I wasn't listening. Can you repeat that?
Maybe in the second game.
Break.
Break. Isn't that incredible?
That's a lot.
And this team
That's a lot of arms.
If the season were to end right now, this team would be in the playoffs with all those pitchers. Steven Gonsalves is having a good year. AA up to AAA. He's doing well. We may see him in September.
Right.
John Curtis, outstanding relief prospect for the Twins. We might see him.
You see
in
all
September.
that, but again, you look at the wild card race. Twins are right there.
Taken low, 2-2.
You know, don't count out winning the division either. I know
No.
Cleveland's good, but Twins coming into today's play only 5 behind the Indians.
And Boston leading Cleveland 2-0 at Progressive Field tonight.
Oh, no,
Check
no.
swing.
Get it down.
Frank Gibson asking Ben May if he went. And he did not. Now it's full count to Adam Engel. And Engel swings through, strike 3, 2 down.
Strikeout number 2 for Turley. So he went with a fastball out over the plate. And Engel swinging through it.
Larry Garcia will be the batter. Garcia with a bounce out, a strikeout, and a flyout. Speaking of Chris Jimenez, his last pitching performance, he's catching here tonight, but his last pitching performance came June 22nd. It's been more than 2 months. The ball blasted to center. Buxton back, and right about where he caught the first out, he caught the third out of the 6th inning. It's 7-2. Story of the game.
Twins had a 1-0 lead. That in the first inning, thanks to Eduardo Escobar RBI single, scored Brian Dozier in the bottom of the first inning. There was a big 2-run single by Garcia, Amaseo Garcia, gave the Indians the White Sox a 2-1 lead. A big 3-run home run by Sanchez, that coming in the fourth inning. That made it 5-1. Added a couple more. Abreu hitting a solo home run leading off the fifth inning. Twins added one with the sacrifice fly, scoring Joe Mauer.
There's a bunt up the line. Good idea by Kepler. He maybe thought, as I did, that Rodon would be done after the sixth, but the White Sox are leaving Rodon out there to at least face Kepler and maybe Polanco. I doubt that he'll face Dozier hitting third. Career high 122 pitches, his season high 113. Farquhar warming up, hard throwing right-handed reliever, new to the White Sox. Now fouled away. Kepler in familiar territory against the lefty. It's 0-2.
Don with 9 strikeouts in the ball game, a couple walks, giving up 4 hits, 2 singles, 2 doubles.
Kepler got a fastball 97 miles per hour over the inside edge, and he got a piece of it.
I have only 1 ground ball out by the Twins.
Yep,
That was Kepler.
Kepler his last time up. And the Twins have hit him fairly hard, but they only have 4 hits. Inside 1 and 2. Bunch of line outs to the infield and the outfield. Ability to strike out hitters. He got 2 strikeouts in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, 2 in the sixth.
There's that 1 ground ball up, 8 fly ball outs, and then the 9 strikeouts.
Chopper to second, and an easy play from Okada run away.
Second ground ball out. Well, no surprise Rondo's going to get strikeouts. I mean, he came into this ball game always 4 strikeouts to innings pitched, averaging 9.2 strikeouts per 9 innings.
And it was just the one batter that they were going to ask Rodon to get. It was Kepler, season high 115 pitches. He'll retire for the night with a chance to pick up his 2nd win of the year. Embraces all over. And Rodon with a smile toward Greg Gibson. He wasn't smiling at him in the 2nd inning. But he's in the ball game and on the White Sox roster now in relief of Carlos Rodon.
Yeah, Rodon 6 1/3 innings, only allowed 4 hits, a couple runs, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. Really, he was in complete control. He had that good slider, got ahead with the fastball, and utilized that slider mainly on strikeouts.
And he hits the outside corner to Polanco.
Released by the Rays in July 20th, and then signed with the White Sox. He's pitched for the Blue Jays, the Mariners, the Rays, and now wears a White Sox uniform.
Polanco 0-for-2, lined out his last time up. Now 3-1.
Acqua making his second appearance for the White Sox, 38 for the Rays.
And what you're seeing is why he's bounced around.
23 walks for the Rays in 36 innings pitched, and here he walks Polanco.
Cancer impacts the lives of everyone in Twins territory. Join us August 30th to show your support for cancer awareness. Supporters purchasing tickets through the special theme night ticket package will receive a Twins cancer awareness hat. Color of the Twins logo on the front of the hat corresponds to the color associated with the most prevalent cancers seen throughout Twins territory. You can learn more. TwinsBaseball.com/cancer awareness. Dozier takes a strike. Just 2 for 10 with men on base. Base hit left field. Twins with a couple of runners on here in the 7th, trying to cash in against the rebuilt Chicago bullpen. We'll bring up Mauer.
Well, fastball from Acqua that stays inside, and Bryant opening up quickly. Picks up his first hit, and for the Twins, their 5th.
We saw Fox Tracks. It was presented by Carrier. Mauer has hit the ball hard twice, lining out to the third baseman Sanchez, and then singling in the 6th. Up and away, ball 1. Veteran relievers that the White Sox had when we were here last in May, and they're all gone. Almost all gone. And Farquhar testing the patience of first Narvaez, and I'm sure Don Cooper and Rick Renteria. They filled the bases and got one, left a couple of men on. Now Bauer takes a strike, and it's 2-1. Buxton on deck. Activity in the Chicago pen. They're hoping that Farquhar can start throwing strikes and get through this inning.
One more base runner. There might be some action out there.
On the outside corner, 3-2.
Looks like somebody's getting up now.
Just seen 27 pitches. Minnesota native Jake Petrichka warming up. About to start warming up. Full count. Bauer takes ball 4. They're loaded up. Buxton has struck out twice and doubled.
And here comes Don Cooper.
Petrishka just starting to get loose.
And Petrishka's really struggled as of late since he came off the disabled list. He had that right elbow strain.
Cooper covering his mouth, so we can't tell exactly what he's telling Danny Farquhar, but we can guess. Throw it over the plate.
I'm sure he said more than that.
Perhaps more colorfully than I did. Buxton with another extra base hit. If he can get one here, the Twins will be right back in the game. A double down the left field line for Buxton. Back in the third inning. He came with 2 outs. Popped up, backing out of play. In the third spot on the batting order, Paul Molitor made no guarantees where Buxton would hit in the nightcap. But in the absence of Miguel Sano and others, said it just kind of felt right to put Buxton in there. Maybe he'd get an extra at bat, being third in the lineup instead of 7th. Foul back 0-2.
2 fastballs foul straight back.
Buxton put the ball in play here. Did it with authority to the outfield. High fly, right center field. Be deep enough to score Polanco. Garcia with the catch. And he threw it properly to the shortstop. A sacrifice fly for Buxton. It's 7-3. And that'll bring up Escobar.
Yeah, Buxton picking up an RBI, his 28th of the year as Polanco scores. Byron had a couple fastballs he probably would like to get back. This first fastball he fouled back, still up a little bit, but this is the one. So he fouling it straight back. 2 fastballs up, and then a fastball down creates the fly ball sacrifice fly.
Escobar with a couple of hits already tonight, looking for a third hit, hitting left-handed for the first time. Strike on the outside corner. Since Don Cooper went out there, Farquhar's thrown nothing but strikes. Should have gone out there before the Bauer at that.
Hey, hold up!
One strike. Fouled away, now 2 strikes. 5 pitches, 5 fastballs, 5 strikes since Don Cooper went to the mound. The punt, and it's 1-2.
1-2!
Derek Holland, erstwhile starter, warming up in the bullpen. Right back to Farquhar, who juggles it and then flips it to Abreu. And the Twins fill him up. Only get 1 out of it. You're watching Twins baseball presented by State Farm. Baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile. Josh Bell having a fantastic rookie season for the Pirates. And the Pirates 4 games below 500. Nationals got a good start from Gio Gonzalez, his 12th win of the year, and the Angels trail the Twins by a sliver of a percentage point. They played awfully well. They won the series at Camden Yards. And are right there with the Twins, looking for a wild card spot in head-to-head competition. The Twins won 5 of the 7 games between the Twins and the Angels. Now bottom of the 7th, and Yoan Moncada will lead things off. He's not put a ball in play. He's walked and struck out twice. Turley takes a strike. Provided he continues to get some batters out, as he's done now 5 times in a row, Turley may be asked to pitch through the 8th inning. And it might be that if that all happens here, it's been a bad game and all that, but they got through the first game with just 2 pitchers used. Starting to rain here.
A little
in
rain
Chicago.
coming down. Fans starting to scatter.
And on 3 pitches, Moncada strikes out for the 3rd time this afternoon.
And Turley picking up his 3rd strikeout. Good curveball right there.
We'll bring up Abreu.
Pitch sequence. Breaking ball, fastball, breaking ball.
Here is Abreu. We're lucky in this 5-game series. We got the best stats guy in the major leagues, Ethan, and now he's going to try to pass himself off as a weather guy. He says the forecast says 15 minutes of light rain, and that's it. Ground ball hit to Dozier.
I hope he's right.
I hope so too, and I trust him. But I have no idea what he knows about weather. Join Fox Sports North in the Wild for the breakaway 10K, 5K, and 1-mile run on Saturday, September 16th, benefiting the Herb Brooks Foundation. All participants receive a medal and are qualified to win 2 sweep tickets for the Wild Stars preseason game September 30th. For details, visit foxsportsnorth.com/events. 2 down on the 7th, and now Nicky Delmonico. A couple of walks and a couple of runs scored for Delmonico. Ball 1. Indians have taken a 3-2 lead over the Red Sox now in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Doug Fister going for Boston. And Clevenger for the Indians. It's down the left field line, and Escobar with room makes the catch.
Turley settling down nicely.
7 pitches in a 1-2-3-7. Of course, the Twins will be involved in the novelty of playing in Puerto Rico in late April.
Yeah, a couple games in Puerto Rico between the Cleveland Indians and the Twins.
They will be home games for the Twins. So I have no idea if you're a season ticket holder. The Twins aren't going to pay for your airfare. You got to find your own airfare, right? If you're going to see to go to Puerto Rico, right?
I would imagine, yes.
1-1 to Adrianza, hitting for Jimenez. The Twins do have some options that they haven't had before. It's conceivable that they could put Garver behind the plate rather than use Castro for the balance of this game. Castro is expected to catch the second game. Check swing, and now it's 3-1. Farquhar walked 2 of the first 3 batters he faced. The other guy got a base hit. Twins loaded the bases for the second inning in a row. Fouled back 3-2.
Adrianza has a pinch hitter 0 for 6.
It's really coming down, and we got to stop playing. With a 3-2 count to A-Ray Adrianza, the Tarps coming on the field. Light rain, my foot.
Yeah. Nice going, Ethan.
Jeez. They're going to roll the tarp out because it's just lightly raining. Take a look at the upcoming schedule and our Jeep road ahead. We've got another game later tonight, at least we hope we do. Then we've got night games Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday here. Then we go to Toronto, a night game Friday, a day game Saturday, day game Sunday. Then a homestand with the White Sox and Royals, and back on the road to St. Petersburg and Kansas City. That's our Jeep road ahead. Twins trying to come back in this game. Again, they filled the bases in the 6th, got 1 run, filled the bases again in the 7th, got another run. And now the count will be 3-2 to A-Ray Adrianza whenever we resume play, which by my watch is going to be in like 7 minutes. that's not too bad.
Pitchers even come back after that. Danny Farquhar out there had a 3-2 count on Adrianza before the rains came.
3-2.
And so Adrianza stands back in, and it will be a rain delay of just about exactly 20 minutes. Full count, and a ball lifted foul. Adrianza hitting for Jimenez, then Rosario and Garver due up. Twins have Castro and Vargas available to them on the bench. A high pop-up left field. Garcia coming in. One down. And that'll bring up Rosario. Twins would love to get a bases loaded situation again here. Farquhar now is going to be relieved, perhaps by Holland. He was warming up before. Holland had a short start, and he's supposed to start again on Thursday. But they had him warmed up, and they're going to ask him to come in and at least get Rosario, perhaps Garver and Kepler out here in the 8th inning. So another break for you with the Twins down 7-3. Asking the ground crew to come out and put some more diamond dust, diamond dry, whatever the brand name is that they use here in Chicago.
Yeah, biggest thing is probably where he lands as they spread that diamond dust
on the back side of the mound. That's like, really critical.
We don't need it there. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Any accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
So why don't you sprinkle a little bit around first base?
We all need a little diamond dust.
Well, I think he needs the compactor, although that's out there. He wants some clay brought out.
Oh, boy.
A mat.
Well, he's normally a starter. You know, he goes out there with the freshly groomed mound before he makes his own little indents into that pitching mound. Yeah, we got a break. I want to send our condolences to the Jim Gensel family. He was a huge Twin fan. He passed away recently. Our thoughts and prayers and condolences go out to his family. There. Take it all the way down. That helps the angle that you could create on that
but they're
mound.
This has nothing to do, I don't think, with the rain.
You see the clay that's underneath there.
Yeah, I mean, he's actually looking for the mound to be kind of reconstructed here.
Now the next thing, if Holland grabs the rake and does it himself, well, they're going to pat it down. And then once he hits it, he'll kick it all back up again.
So they scraped it out and they put it back in.
know, sometimes credit doesn't go to the ground crew. And, you know, at home, those guys do a great job.
Well,
Larry DeVito and crew.
They're
You
doing
don't see
what they're
this too
told.
often.
No, were you that persnickety about?
No.
I've never seen a pitcher come in, and it has nothing to do with the rain that fell.
No.
He's having the mound groomed for Derek Holland.
I hope he steps in that area.
Well, we can be comforted in knowing that if he has to go over the back of the mound, it'll be dry for him then. We've got 2 games to play. We've just had a 20-minute rain delay. This seems nonsensical.
Yeah, this kind of like watching a crew on the side of the road. You know, you got 1 guy working and 4 guys looking.
And now, I mean, this
There we
delay was
go.
almost as long as the rain delay.
Okay, see if he lands slow. He's going to take out that shovel man.
Well,
I got to be honest with you. I don't think he's landing where they did the work. See where his foot lands. We were told it's right on the edge, and Derek Holland is really kind of, that's the way his season has been, on the edge. 6-13 in 25 games, 24 starts. As you mentioned, Dick, you scheduled a pitch here on Thursday. This is his second relief appearance.
well, he dismisses the ground crew. That's my principal concern. They can go back. You know, they've been standing in the rain, rolling the tarp out, rolling the tarp back, tended to first base, second base, third base, the mound, home plate, and then they had to fix the mound for Derek.
Go back and play dominoes or card games.
Hey, I'm part of the brotherhood from 7-8 years ago. Careful, those are my brothers. Rosario with a sacrifice fly his last time out. Throws a strike.
Yeah, Holland with a fastball, curveball. He'll throw a little like a little cut fastball and a changeup. In his first season with the White Sox, coming over from the Rangers.
Foul back, 2 strikes.
Signed as a free agent over the winter. As we saw, he's very particular where he lands that right foot.
Up the middle. And off the glove of the shortstop Anderson. Rosario against the lefty, gets a base hit. That'll bring up Garvey.
Victor just kind of reached out and hit it right back up the middle. Holland's delivery takes him over toward third base. It got behind him, right over the mound.
Yeah, you know, the second hop hit right where he had the ground repaired on the mound. If he hadn't done that, perhaps Anderson would have been able to make the play. Garber with a walk, a line out, and a strikeout. Jones running out of outs. 1 gone in the 8th. Breaking ball, strike 1. Hitting streak extended to 11 games. More importantly, he's aboard with 1 out here in the 8th. Fouled away, 2 strikes. Garver 1 for 7 so far in the big leagues. The hit, an infield hit, but he has drawn a couple of walks. Rosario lost some personal property of some sort. And so first baseman Abreu retrieved it to him. And on the inside corner, Garver's called out on strikes. 2 down.
And that's exactly where Narvis wanted that pitch. You saw him kind of circle his finger and then go inside. And Holland picks up the strikeout. Painted the last pitch.
And now Vargas is going to hit for Kepler because there's a left-hander on the mound. Max went 0 for 3 against the lefties today. And you wonder who's going to take over in right field, and it might be in the outfield Garver who might move out there, and then Vargas will take over at first. Big swing and a miss. 3 bench players for the Twins, and Paul Molitor will end up using all 3 of them here with his 8th inning maneuvering.
And Vargas just getting called up when Sano was put on a disabled list. His 5th time he has been with the Twins this year.
And Vargas can run into one here against Derek Holland. Outside 1-1. Twins are down 7-1. They've gotten a couple back. Just outside 2-1. We talked about the wind change here from the opening innings when it was blowing in from center field. This pitch not missing by much. And it wouldn't take much with the wind blowing out to left for Vargas to cut the lead in half. 3-1. Polanco on deck.
Vargas with 8 home runs on the year.
Straight call. Vargas thought it was inside ball 4.
Almost the same pitch that struck out Garver. Fastball inside. Looks like it was inside.
3-2.
Vargas 1 for 2 against Holland, and the one was a big fly. There's ball 4. And now Polanco will hit with 2 men aboard. And Don Cooper coming to the mound. I think we have delayed the top of this 8th inning in every way a game can be delayed.
Well, Mother Nature took over at the beginning.
Right.
You can't fool with her.
This time he's not bothering to shield his mouth. He doesn't care if there are any lip readers in the crowd. Polanco with a walk and a run scored his last time up, lined out in the 5th and struck out in the 2nd inning.
Trisco was up last inning.
Situations like this in the Diamondbacks series, they've struggled today. Just 1 for 6 with men in scoring position. That ball rolls away, and Rosario thought about going to 3rd. Vargas had no such thoughts of moving to 2nd. Ball 1.
Well, Narvis knocking this ball down. The ball not getting that far away to see Rosario, top of your screen, thought about it, but smartly went back.
Such an important at bat here because of who's on deck. Brian Dozier represents the tying run on deck. 2-0.
And that's why Petriska is still warming up. Looks like he's ready to come in if need be, and hopefully he will.
4th home run of the year.
Well, that's one thing that Holland has given up. That's his 29th home run allowed. And Polanco hits his 3rd home run, his 2nd as a right-handed hitter. Fastball. And Polanco, good uppercut swing. And hits it into the bleachers here at Guaranteed Rate Field.
Just a row or so back, but it's a 3-run home run to make it 7-6. And Petrichka comes into a 1-run ball game. Polanco now 10 for 20, hitting 9th, a 3-run home run. And now Dozier comes up representing the tying run, and he's hit 9 home runs in the last 19 games.
Brian Dozier, and that's what hopefully he'll get from Petrichka right here, a pitch that he can do exactly that, tie this game up.
Dozier 3 for 11, 5 strikeouts against Petrichka, who's really struggled this year. And a fastball, strike 1. Juan Minaya is the closer now for the White Sox, with so much veteran innings are gone from the Chicago bullpen.
The high ERA over 8.
Dozier drives it to left, hit deep to the gap, off the base of the wall and away from Engel. Dozier goes to second with a double, and the tying runs in scoring position. He's hit 2 balls very hard tonight, and the only thing keeping Dozier from a 2-home run game, launch angle. He hit 2 bullets, low line drives. One was caught by Engel. This hit the base of the fence.
Well, he got a fastball, and that ball rode in on him a little bit. Bryant opened up. Yeah, he came very close to tying this ball game. Gets off the State Farm side.
Whoa.
Engel gets it back in.
He was lucky, Engel was, and he was able to catch that carom. Could have been at least a triple. Here's Mauer, tying run at second. Strike at the belt. Since the rain delay, Twins have gone single, strikeout, walk, home run, double. Mauer with a single and a walk his last 2 times up. Drive to left. And making the catch at the end is Garcia, who hurt himself in making the catch. Another line out. And the Twins draw back to within 1. Run home run. It's a 1-run ball game as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Coming out of the Twins pen, right-hander Alan Buznitz.
Yeah, Buznitz has pitched well as of late out of that bullpen. 1.93 ERA in 18 2/3 innings. Only 5 walks, 11 strikeouts.
Nick Turley gave up a couple of runs in the 5th, but he got the Twins through the 7th. Now Buznitz will face Garcia, Sanchez, and Anderson in the 8th inning. Garver is now catching, and Vargas is at first. So Castro is still available off the bench. We have Rosario in right field, and Adrianza is in left. And Kepler out of the game.
Right, Kepler was pinch hit for.
So now that all that's set, 1-0 to Avisail Garcia, who has 3 singles, all 3 of them stroked solidly right up the middle. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Buznitz gives you the impression that he's got ice water in his veins. He's just come in, thrown strikes, thrown hard.
He's shown a very good hard breaking ball along with that fastball. That fastball right there for the 2nd time in a ball game. Garcia shaking off that right hand.
Yeah, there's something wrong with him. It's the 2nd time he's taken a swing at a fastball inside and winced in pain.
Fastball in. And right there. Ouch.
1-2. Ground ball. Nice pickup by Vargas. He goes to the bag, 1 away. Looking ahead to the 9th inning. Twins are going to have Buxton, Escobar, and Adrianza due up. Homer Sanchez will hit a big 3-run home run in the 4th and sacrifice fly in the 5th. 4 runs batted in. The U.S. Chicago closer, Minaya, is warming up. Garcia got a long time to get back to the dugout. Sore wrist shouldn't impede his speed getting back to the dugout, but I'm guessing there's something wrong with him. I don't know if we'll see him in the nightcap or not. Ball 1. For Garver, his first time behind the plate in the big leagues. Catching a guy that he's pretty familiar with. Both were in Rochester at the start of the year. Fouled away, 1-1. Off-speed pitch, that breaking ball you were talking about.
There's that good breaking ball right there. After a good fastball, same arm motion.
22.
And that's kind of a 12-6 drop too, isn't it?
Go up the stairs and exactly where Garver wanted that pitch. Buznitz threw it there. Picks up a strikeout.
96 miles per hour at the letters. 2 quick outs in the bottom of the 8th.
Well, watch Garver right there. I want that ball up, and it's exactly where he wanted it.
Tim Anderson is 0 for 3. Bounced into a double play his last time up. Strike. Sox haven't had a hit since the 5th inning. Inside 1-1.
Yeah, Nick Turley, you know, he struggled the first inning when he came back, or, you know, when you're relieved, but then settled down nicely, retired 8 straight Indians. Excuse me, White Sox.
Tapper to third. Escobar fields. Throws Buznitz with a very quick 1-2-3 bottom of the 8th to the 9th in a 1-run game. Down 7-1. It's now 7-6. Polanco's 3-run home run drawing the Twins to within 1. For the game, Paul Molitor talked about the decision to hit Byron Buxton third. He said, who knows, maybe he'll get one extra at bat because of it. He's been one of Minnesota's hottest hitters. And here he is leading off the 9th against Juan Minaya, who has 2 saves. He is their closer till further notice.
Minaya coming in, making his 27th relief appearance, his 2nd season with the White Sox, being claimed off waivers from the Houston Astros last year.
Buxton 1 for 3 with a sacrifice fly. Cracked a double in the 3rd. And he takes a strike. It's not just Byron's ability to get on base, which has improved dramatically. It's what happens if he does get on base. Representing the tying run. Up and away, 1-1. Drawn walks. He's cracked extra base hits. And he's been susceptible to that pitch. We've seen him swing and miss at a high fastball.
Manaya's got a very good fastball, clocked at 95. He has walked 15 batters in 31 innings pitched, but he has 39 strikeouts.
Away, and it's 2-2. Buxton is back. The bouncer to second. Buxton is retired, 1 down. A break of about 30-35 minutes between games. Dylan G, who's done well for the Twins out of the pen, will make the start. And Carson Fulmer will make his debut in the nightcap for Chicago.
And for Fulmer, it'll be his first major league start. He made 8 relief appearances last year. Former #1 pick for the White Sox.
Escobar with a couple of hits as a right-handed batter. Other than playing Avisail Garcia deep in right field, I don't know that the White Sox necessarily have a no doubles defense here. They're so far off the line. Sanchez is at third. Fouled away, 1-1. swing. And that's 1-2. David Robertson was the closer here. He was dealt back to the Yankees. Anthony Swarzak had a really good year going as a setup man. Tommy Kahnle threw very hard out of the Chicago bullpen. And Escobar chases upstairs, 2 down. I'll bring up Adrianza.
I am throwing nothing but gas. High fastball right here, tough to lay off of. That's that pitch that Escobar's had trouble with.
You know, Adrianza, who had his at-bat interrupted by a 19-minute rain delay. And then he ended up flying out to start the 8th inning. Down and in, ball 1. Adrianza trying to keep the game alive. Rosario is the on-deck man. Anthony is 1-1.
Anaya had some minor league saves with the Houston Astros. This would be his 3rd major league save.
Inside, 2-1. Boston's taking the lead on Cleveland 4-3, top of the 5th at Progressive Field. Fouled away. Now the Twins are down to their last strike. Straight up in the air. Sanchez with the catch. And the White Sox end up winning by a run. And we'll have game 2 in about a half an hour, 35 minutes, Anthony.